Welcome back to day 4, season 7 beginners. We're in the Pearl Cave, and today we're going to be expanding into the easy underwater cave and finally getting dino production up and running. We started the day out by grouping up and doing an element vein on extinction where we got countered. Now the following footage is some of the worst gameplay you have ever seen anybody commit. I'm talking biggest mistakes, dumbest moves. I made them all. So yeah, we were doing our element vein. We had just finished doing the element vein. We just harvested it, and we were kind of lollygagging around a little bit longer than we needed to be, and we got jumped on. And I proceeded to do some of the stupidest moves, and it's just pathetic PvP experience of my life. But yeah, enjoy. Yeah, so in MTS, the Spinos are buffed, and I believe Rhinos are buffed too, but I think swimming Rhino versus buff Spino in water, the Rhino's going to lose. And that's why I'm here, to find these interesting facts out. Rhino swimming in the water loses to Spino, in case you didn't know. But yeah, so we all got pretty much annihilated in that fight, and you know, the saving grace there was the heavy turrets. I demanded everybody bring like fucking 3 turrets apiece, so we had turret coverage everywhere, and that ended up saving us. I'm assuming, now this is an assumption, but I'm assuming that the attackers thought that we must have dipped out with all of our loot, right? No, our element guy got killed. And one of our dudes went to go back to, you know, see, because he was like, hey, my snow owl never got killed. I'm going to go back for it. So he went back for his snow owl, and he ended up finding the loot of the element, which is like thousands of elements. So he was like, guys, I didn't get the element. So I came back as quickly as I could, and I brought more turrets, and we threw down a transmitter and started crafting that element into element dust so that we could get it off the server. And we started taking some sniper fire, but they never came back, and we ended up crafting everything and then GTFO with all the loot. It was awesome. So like we lost that fight, but we ended up not losing the element, which, you know, to be fair, we were there for the element. We didn't give a shit about the tames we lost. So well, I guess some of the tames hurt, but I mean, we definitely took a huge L there, but we cut the L in half, and we took a little bit smaller of an L by getting that element home. So yeah, after that big L that we took, one of our guys started to build a tower. Now, this tower would be the subject of much debate in our tribe, much controversy, much argument. But essentially, our dude built this awesome turret tower. I mean, a turret tower is a turret tower. It was great. It did its job. The only problem was he built it like a little bit too far away from our entrance. And so we were living in Pearl Cave, and the plan was to take Pearl Cave so that we could expand into easy underwater. And so, like, what do you normally do in a cave? Well, you block off the entrance, right? Well, this dude decided to build a tower in front of the entrance. Not like in front of it to where it's blocking the entrance, but like the Statue of Liberty off in the distance in the great ocean. You can see it from afar, from the entrance. So anybody could just walk right around the fucking tower and go inside the cave. And so a lot of resources were spent on this tower. We didn't have enough money to resources to build another turret tower wall to block off the entrance, and so another day would go by where we couldn't set up like mass baby production. We got the tower finished, woohoo! But our cave was still completely unsecure because you could just swim around the motherfucker. But yeah, so there was that happened. I was excited because like one of my primary roles in ARC is breeding and getting tames organized and whatnot, and I was hoping to get easy underwater set up so we could start throwing out tames, because when you're living in a small space and you're cycling through breeders and throwing one out at a time, it's a complete pain in the ass. But when you have a full big base and all the tames are just out and you just set the male to breeding and you get it, it's so nice, right? So I was looking forward to that, but I'd have to wait until we built a wall in front of the turret tower. Anyways, so I took it upon myself to go tame some pair racers. Went to Ragnarok, flew around the desert a bit, trying to hit them, you know, deep ocean crates or the desert crates. And I came across a low-level pair racer and a high-level pair racer. Maybe they were both below level. I can't remember, but I tamed up a bunch of pair racers because we didn't really have any soakers, and Once they were all tamed up, I bred them, waited for the baby to pop out, and then came back home to throw them out with a new pair racer breeding pair. So we were fucking around in the base when we got a notification that a rare Reaper was going to be spawning. So MTS does this like kind of like event to, you know, kind of stoke out some, you know, so provoke some PvP. But they will spawn a high level pre-stat dino. So like 30 something plus pre-stat in like health or something. And when you tame it, there's a chance it can go to like 50 plus, whatever. And so we got the notification that rare Reaper spawned, and we had been Reaper starved since this game, since beginners. We just had the worst luck when it comes to Reapers. Every time I try to get one, we would get shut down. And so we worked together as a tribe to go get one. And so we headed over to Extinction, where they were. This is a modified Extinction to get this rare Reaper, and PvP ensued. So yeah, this is where I learned a little bit about my playstyle not being up to par with the PvP of MTS. But I carry like 1 or 2 sets of flak. From what I've seen, these guys are carrying like 7 or 8 or 20 sets of flak on them. They just keep swapping their flak out, and they stay in the fight forever. And so something I never used to do, which is something I need to start doing now. But yeah, so we started fighting for this this Reaper. We ended up finding it. We ended up aggroing it and hiding it into this cave, and we set up some battery turrets, and I tried to set up a trap, but the Reaper was glitching out, wouldn't go in the trap. And then some other players came and third-partied us, and just they proceeded to decimate my gear. And so for the rest of the fight here, I'm running around naked on a snow owl. But we have this battle of aggro where we're trying to aggro the Reaper King. They're aggroing it from us, and we're aggroing it from them. And finally they aggroed away from us and kited all the way into this other section, really far away from our trap. And somebody ends up trapping it inside of an enemy's foundation, like enemy's trap. So now it's stuck in there, it doesn't belong to any of us. And then their reinforcements show up. So we're rolling like Snow Owl, a couple snipers and whatever. These guys show up with Snow Owls and Reapers and snipers, and they proceed to push our shit in and, you know, send us back to Extinction naked on the beach. But yeah, so once again, we were Reaper starved. No Reapers for us. So yeah, we took a pretty fat L on that, but after losing to that first fight, I realized, you know, Spinos are buffed on MTS. I love some Spinos. Spinos have a special place in my heart after being an ab main unofficial and fending off many raiders with them. So I decided to go tame some up. I went to Extinction first and only found low levels. I found this low level female, tamed her up, and then I went over to Ragnarok to the Spino Valley, and I found 2 decent ones. Yeah, once they were tamed up, I bred them, got an egg, and I went back home with my new Spino breeding pair. Finally, towards the end of the night, we started working towards securing off Easy Underwater. A wall was built, turrets were placed, Easy Underwater was secure. It's wonderful. I could finally start throwing out babies and raising mass amounts of dinosaurs. But before I did anything, I decided to tame up a wolf and run through all of the above water segments of our Easy Underwater to make sure there was no sneaky stuff, no sleeping bags, no beds, nothing. And there was nothing. Our base was completely secure, nobody in it, just babies, just me. So we dropped the teleporter, we dropped the transmitter, and started transferring over babies and breeding pairs and throwing them out in Easy Underwater. While I was throwing out babies, one of our guys finally found a Reaper. and we finally got Reapers. It was amazing. I went over, got impregnated, leveled up my baby, hatched it, and then went back to raising babies. While I was out charging up batteries, I came across a small little Bob base and had to raid it. So I went back and got some rockets and ran the base real quick. I always feel bad when I raid these Bob bases, but at the same time I don't, because like there's this, cycle, the circle of life. But when you're a new player, you get raided and you either quit playing the game or you think like, oh shit, I gotta do better next time, and you progress. And so like I raided this guy because Bobs can have some good shit sometimes, and on Extinction you never know what the fuck you're gonna find. So like my rule is raid it no matter what, because they might have that BP that they accidentally stumbled across a ascended Spino BP or something, and it's worthless to them but paramount to you. But yeah, so I always feel bad, but at the same time it's like my policy. Got a Rhino BP, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, raid it if you can. And then towards the end of the night, we did another element vein. This time, no contest, way out in the middle of nowhere. We got our element, we crafted a bunch of shit, and then we all went back home. It was glorious. And yeah, I guess this concludes this video. We got a Statue of Liberty turret tower, beautiful off in the distance. We got a little wall set up on our Easy Underwater. We got babies out, we got breeders out, we got dino production, we got element veins. We got a bunch of shit done today. We took a couple L's, we got some Reapers, but we progressed and pulled through it, and it was the end of another great day. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'd love to hit you up or hear anything you had to say about my content, my channel. Anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of you. Have a good one.